Hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Azano. I've created a very special program out in Uganda at a school. It's an acting and filmmaking program, and I recently created a GoFundMe campaign to try to raise funds for the project. I wrote a rather lengthy description about what it is I'm trying to accomplish out there, and I know a lot of people don't have time or maybe the energy to read all of it. So I just wanted to record a video and just kind of talk about what it is I'm trying to accomplish out there and speak from the heart. And I guess it all started with I traveled to Uganda for the first time in 2013. I went out there to write a screenplay about this amazing and inspirational true story I had heard about. And that trip was life-changing for me. Uganda is one of the most beautiful places in the world, and the people are some of the most kind and welcoming, lovely human beings I've ever had the privilege of meeting. And basically, upon arriving back in the States, I could think of nothing but returning to Uganda and hoping to contribute in some way, hopefully on a broad scale. And so when I was in Uganda, a man by the name of Richard Stanley, he's an American, he's from New York, he had built a school out there. He built a school in Mpigi, Uganda, which is about an hour and a half outside of the capital city of Kampala. So it's a pretty remote area. And he built this school and sends about 200 children from all over the country there free of charge. He feeds them 3 meals a day, and they receive a great education. They learn math, science, English, history, all the basic subjects. And, they're getting a really good education that they might not have been able to obtain otherwise, which is amazing. However, I did notice that the school does not have any sort of artistic or creative programs. And I myself, being a filmmaker, I've been an artist all my life, a dancer, an actress, I know how important, the creative arts are for children. It helps build confidence. And, by exploring their creative sides, they learn how to express themselves. And I believe children everywhere, people everywhere, have stories to tell and have a right to have their voices heard. And, I noticed that the kids in Uganda in general seem to be very shy and lack self-confidence. I would go over and say hi, and some of them wouldn't even meet eyes with you. They're very shy. So I was thinking about ways I could contribute and, what my gifts are and what it is that I could possibly do that would make a difference. And I kind of came up with this idea on a whim. I was like, what if I taught, brought an arts program to the school? What if I taught this acting and filmmaking program to these kids? Like, I think they would get a lot out of it. So I reached out to Richard, and he was all for the idea. So I made it happen. I went out there in January with my friend Mike, and we stayed for the month, and we taught an intensive acting and filmmaking course. We had a group of 21 students, boys and girls, ages 14 and 15, and we were with them every single day from about 9 in the morning till 6 to 8 at night. And we basically started the course by covering the art of storytelling from the beginning of time and theater and how film has evolved, and plots and, themes and genres and characters and, everything that makes up a story. And once the children had a basic understanding of that, we got into acting. And, we taught them, we started at the beginning with fun theater games to loosen them up. And, at first they were really shy, but then they started to really have fun and let go. And, I told them, this class is different than the rest of your classes. There's no wrong answer. No one's going to fail. You just have to participate. This should be fun. And, they really responded to that. I wanted to create a very encouraging, fun environment for them because that's something they're not used to. They have a pretty strict curriculum at the school, and the way the classes are run, it's very strict, and like most regular subjects, you get graded and there's a right and wrong answer. But I said, in this class, there's no wrong answers. It's about having fun and going with your instincts and your gut and exploring and creating. So, so we played these games and we got into scene work, and, I taught the children about screenwriting and, what a scene is comprised of. And they started writing, and we had them write their own short scenes. And then, we'd have the child who wrote the scene cast other students in the parts and kind of act as director and direct the scenes. And they got to rehearse and put on little mini plays, and they just had such a good time, and they were so into it. And it was so inspiring to see, because these kids have so much potential. They have so much raw talent, and it seems like they've just been waiting for the opportunity to express themselves. They have so much to say, and it was amazing to watch them kind of come full circle. The kids that began so shy, they barely wanted to stand up in class, the first few days. By the end of the month, they completely changed. They blossomed. It was incredible. I even thinking back on it now, still all these months later, I get emotional because, you could see the difference that it was making, more than just in class. But some of them started to speak up and, tell us about their lives at home and where they've been. And, it changed them. It really opened them up, and they gained confidence. They were able to stand before a room and speak confidently. And, they started to form stronger bonds with each other. And, Mike and myself, we grew very, very close with these kids. And they're really, really special. And seeing the impact it made on them, many of them came up to us, and when we left, they wrote us these lovely, lovely letters, thanking us for changing their lives and, opening up their eyes to art and film. And, seeing that and hearing that that's all I could have hoped for, I went out there hoping to change their lives, and even in the smallest way, and to see the impact it had on them. It was all I could have asked for, and the impact they've had on mine is beyond something I could put into words, but it has absolutely changed everything for me. I love those kids. And so the way we concluded the class was, we said, we've learned all these things about filmmaking, but now it's time to actually make the film. So we had the kids as a class come up with an idea for a story. And Mike and I stepped out of the room. We said, we don't want to influence you guys. This is your story. This is your opportunity to share a story that means something to you with the world. It could be about whatever you want. Share something about your life here in Uganda that, you want the world to know. And we said, we don't want to influence you. It's up to you guys, but you have to agree. And we gave them some time, and incredibly, after just maybe an hour and a half, they had a full story planned out. Beginning, middle, and end. Everything a good story should have, and they figured it out, and they all agreed. And it is a moving and beautiful story, and Mike and I were just so impressed. So what we did was we made it into a timeline, and we broke it down and into scenes, and we had each student write a scene that every single student participated. And then I typed it up on my computer, and we had a script, and over a period of about 5 to 6 days we shot it, and every single student in the class participated. Every student had a role, and when they weren't acting, they acted as crew members. So, if a student wasn't acting, he would do the slate, or another would hold the boom, or act as my assistant director. And the kids just loved it. They had such a good time. And, they worked really hard, and they were just so excited to do this. And so, it was just amazing to see the way that they changed and were so excited and happy about doing this. And, it was mind-blowing to see them actually get on film. They're natural actors, they're gifted writers, and it was amazing. So I returned back to the States, and I began editing their film. And like I said, I was just blown away, actually seeing some of these students and their scenes, as they're directing, but actually looking at it on the screen, I was like, wow, some of these kids have real potential to be actors, or, some of them really loved being behind the scenes. And there's this up and coming industry in Uganda now, a film industry, and there's potential for them to work, if that's what they want to do. So I finished the film with some help from some friends and colleagues in LA who kindly donated their time to create a score and do a sound mix. And Mike and I returned to Uganda in June, and I rented out a theater in Kampala, and with the help of some friends, I was able to do that. And we bussed the kids in and rent the runway generously, donated dresses for the girls, and Mike kindly provided shirts and ties for the boys, and they got all dressed up. And my friend Ian in Uganda helped us out and set up this whole event with a red carpet and photographers, and we invited their teachers, and those that have families, we invited them, and it was absolutely amazing. It was probably one of the best days of my life. To see these kids, they came such a long way in such a short period of time. It was just amazing to see the excitement on their faces, and the awe when they saw themselves on the big screen, because it was so much more than about their film or the movie or the class. It was about the fact that they saw that for the first time, I think, that they can accomplish whatever they set their minds to. And, to kind of be the people behind allowing these kids to see that was really special and humbling. And, a lot of them came up to us and told us it was the best day of their lives. And, they thanked us, and, they asked to make another movie, and they said, when can we make another? And, they were just so proud, and they should be. What they did, what they accomplished, they worked so hard, and what they accomplished in such a short period of time is awe-inspiring, and it's just amazing. It was amazing. And, to hear from their teachers and families and, the other students at school, what a positive impact it's made on them, made everything worth it. Because, for me, it wasn't very easy. I came up with this idea not realizing how much would go into it. And, I basically put my life savings to making this happen, which I gladly did, and I would do 100 times over. Buying the equipment and the travel out there and renting out the theater and buying all the books and supplies and sound equipment. Put a strain, but seeing the looks on their faces, made it all worth it. Those kids deserve that and everything more. So I had never anticipating my life kind of going in this direction. I never thought that by this little idea I had to maybe, make an impact in a small way on these kids, that it would change everything for me and for them. But after seeing the positive results and changes in these kids, Mr. Stanley spoke to me and asked if I'd like to come back and teach full-time at the school. And I said I would absolutely love to, in a heartbeat. That I feel that's absolutely my purpose. It has given new meaning to my life. And, seeing the way that these kids have changed and grown, I want to continue that journey with them and, expand the program to the rest of the school. So in January, I'll be going back, and I'm so excited. So I'll be volunteering my time. And, I'm planning a whole curriculum that will, open up to the rest of the school, and I'll be having class every day with the kids. And so I created this GoFundMe so I can hopefully raise some funds for this project. It's obviously very costly, and I'll be volunteering my time, so there are no funds for anything. As it is, I'm already trying to figure out how I'm going to fly myself out there and all that, and have money set aside for, God forbid, if anything happens and I need a doctor. But as far as what I need for the program, I'm looking for more camera equipment, sound equipment, basically everything you'd find on a set. I have one camera, but there's 200 kids in the school, so we need at least a couple more. Sound equipment, things like a slate and, headphones, and I had brought over a bunch of acting books and monologue books and, about directing and shots and angles and all that kind of stuff. But the kids basically read it by the time I left. So I'm going to bring over as many books about filmmaking as possible and acting and plays. I'd like to create a library so we can put on plays. They're currently building a stage area at the school, so it's my hope to also do, put on plays as well and scenes for the school. So, supplies like paper, pens, hopefully a printer. So we do have solar power, so it's not always reliable, but I will be able to print if we're able to get these items over there. And laptops. I really want to be able to teach the children how to type. They only write with pen and paper. I want to be able to teach them screenwriting in proper format and eventually editing. I want to be able to give them the tools so they can not only write, act in, and direct, but edit their own films so they have the power to create their own films from start to finish. So all these things obviously cost a lot of money, and any donations of any kind, whether you want to donate equipment, books, or funds, it will be so, so helpful and appreciated. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. So will take anything and everything that you can provide. And even if you don't have anything to donate, if you just share the GoFundMe campaign, share this video, and just let people know what it is that we're doing over there. Because I really believe in this program and I believe in these kids. And I think that, this being a part of their curriculum and part of their everyday lives will really make a positive difference. And, even if they choose not to go into acting or directing or filmmaking someday, just being able to allow them to express themselves and, learn how to speak in front of a room confidently and, stand up for what they believe in. Those tools will take them far in life, whether in the film industry or not. It'll help them in, job interviews and working as a team. So I believe this program is really important and can be very beneficial long-term for these children. And I'm so excited to go back, and I'm more than willing and happy to give my time and energy. I just need the help from you, hopefully, to make this happen. So please, again, share if you can. Contributions, even $1, it really will go a long way and will be so appreciated by me and the kids. Anything like that is so, so welcome. So thank you so much for your time, for watching this, and thank you so much for your support.